Hello, Oswego. My name is Dane Richardson, and welcome back to the Dean and Dane Show. Our purpose is to highlight and discuss various topics and unique opportunities within the Oswego City School District, as well as the younger students within our district involved in the WBUC TV program. As always, we are joined here today by Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Dean Guai. Thank you for coming in again.
Thanks for having me.
I've heard November's been a pretty busy month for you guys, hasn't it?
It's very busy, very busy. We have a lot of athletics from the fall season that are wrapping up. We're still focusing a lot on the capital project and doing some planning for the rest of the year and for the future.
So, Dr. Guai, would you be able to talk to us about some of the district planning that's been taking place lately?
Sure. Starting 2 years ago, we developed a new district mission and vision, which a lot of students probably are aware of. You see it plastered all over our district. It's on our letterhead. It's on all of our district documents as well as being referenced in classrooms and across our district. And you know that our new vision is fully prepared and life ready. And we talked about, I think, that a little bit last month, that the mission and vision of our district is that we are centered on students and that we want every child that leaves our district to be fully prepared and life ready. And really having a mission and vision is the foundation for long-range planning, which led to last year. Last year we had a comprehensive group of staff, teachers, administrators, board members, community members, and a representative from SUNY come together and work throughout the school year to build on our new mission and vision to create what's called a CDEP, which is a comprehensive district educational plan. And that's an opportunity for a school district to look at their root vision and build a plan based on what all stakeholders believe we need most. And the result of that work, which was presented and adopted by the board last spring, are two major initiatives. The first one is called EDI, which is Explicit Direct Instruction. And probably students hear about it a lot, but when we talk about it, you'll probably recognize elements of it that you've seen in your classrooms. It's really a framework for great teacher planning and the delivery of instruction, because we recognize that we want the opportunities for all of our students to be the same regardless of their teacher, their grade level, their school. So EDI provides a framework for teachers to do great planning and to use other elements in their teaching like asking, questioning, using questioning techniques, establishing what their objectives or targets are for each lesson each day and posting them, revisiting those objectives and checking for understanding throughout the lessons. Do you see those things happening in your classrooms?
Certainly.
So that's the first major initiative in our comprehensive district plan. The second one is trauma-informed classrooms.
So, you talk about trauma-informed classrooms. I'm sure a lot of our viewers aren't really well known of trauma-informed classrooms. So can you tell us what that is?
Right. We know that student populations are changing across the country. Kids are different than they were years ago. And in Oswego, we recognize, too, that we can't fully address the needs of the whole child in terms of planning and delivering instruction unless we have an appreciation for the things that they bring with them to school. And so a trauma-informed classroom model really brings a level of sensitivity for all staff to the things that students are dealing with at home. And we can't change the things that are happening in the home, but we can have full control of what happens between 7 a.m. and 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And we can only really do that if we have a great appreciation and understanding on how to kind of level the playing field for all of our kids so that if they're coming from traumatic experiences, that we have to recognize it, address it, and try to create an environment that really is nurturing and safe for our kids. So at the last Superintendent's Conference Day, for example, we brought an expert on trauma-informed classroom into our school, and we brought everybody together in the theater. Teachers, bus drivers, cafeteria workers, secretaries, anyone that engages with students every day, so they have a greater understanding for what are the symptoms of a child who might be experiencing trauma, and how do we make their life better while we have them. So those are the two major initiatives of our comprehensive district educational plan: explicit direct instruction so that we're teaching the same and well, and recognizing and appreciating the trauma that students bring with them to school every day so that we can help them focus more on teaching and learning.
That sounds like a great initiative. And earlier in the show, you talked about long-range planning. So can you
Right.
tell us why long-range planning is so important to the district?
It really is important, and from my perspective as a superintendent, and for any superintendent or principal for that matter, it's easy to get caught up in the day-to-day operations of what you're doing in your district. It would be so easy for me to come in every day and worry about signing documents and meeting with constituents and visiting schools and doing all the things that are really important. But if we only focus on the crisis at hand and we don't look to the future, then the district is really not going to move toward that horizon. And it's not really all about what's happening today. It's what's going to happen in 2 years and 5 years when you'll have moved on, and perhaps I will, but we want the district to continue to be strong. So we've tried to strike a balance between addressing the immediate needs, the financial crisis a few years ago, improving our instructional program through EDI, recognizing that students are coming in with a wide range of personal and family experiences,
Definitely.
trauma-informed,
Yes.
but also look to the future. Now that we've weathered the storm financially, how do we plan for that future? In order for a district to do that, you have to create a framework that starts with a foundation. And for us, it was mission and visioning. We did that. Next is take a look at your instructional program. We started that with the creation of our CDEP. We're looking at trauma-informed classroom. We're looking at EDI. But the next step is to continue to look at other levels at a smaller view. And so this year we're launching a literacy task force. And that's a K-8 initiative really focusing more on primary reading instruction in grades K through 6. That's going to be another comprehensive team. I like to do things with the collaborative groups. There'll be representatives from elementary principals to elementary teachers to intervention specialists like speech language, reading teachers, math, AIS. And we're going to take a critical look at what is our method and delivery of instruction around reading, but also if there's a change that needs to be made in terms of the material framework that we use. Several years ago, the state moved to modules of instruction for reading and math. We're going to take a critical look at that. Is it working for us? We see incremental improvement in our reading scores in grades K through 6, but we're far from satisfied with those scores. So we're going to really dig deep and take a look at that. The county has kind of jumped onto that, and now there's going to be a county-wide initiative around literacy, as well as trauma-informed classrooms. So you can see that Oswego is starting to lead the way. And that will lead to the fourth tier of our long-range planning, which is financial planning. Nancy Squires, who's our Executive Director of Business and Finance, and I have already started the initial stages of creating our long-range financial plan for the district. So we'll have all 4 levels of planning so that we continue to see the growth that our district has enjoyed over the last 2 years.
So it sounds like our district is planning very well. And you talked about that literacy task force. Is that an example of what's next for the Oswego City School District?
It is. It's a great example. We right now are identifying who those task force members are. We're reaching out to them. I'm going to work very closely, and this will mostly be supervised by Carrie Plass, who's our Executive Director of Elementary Education. She will lead the charge as well as building principals. When I was assistant superintendent, we did similar work in the summer of 14 where we standardized what the literacy block in the elementary school looked like. So regardless of school, we knew that every 3rd grade teacher was going to be teaching a similar framework so that a student that started the year at Fitzhugh Park and then transitioned to Riley could expect the same level of instruction and a similar framework for reading in that school. But with the modules of instruction, a changeover in district leadership, we've gotten a little loose with reading, and we're trying to kind of tighten the ship up a little bit. But that's a great example of how we're moving forward. Smaller pockets of improvement around math, reading, and then next would be secondary instruction. We're going to take a look at not only what our intervention programs are for students that are struggling, but we're always looking to enhance opportunities for our most able kids to have additional opportunities for advanced placement, for college credit-bearing courses, for distance learning, a lot of other things that would, so we're hitting the full range of student, from the students that struggle to our highest performing students. Ultimately, our K-12 goal is to increase graduation rate.
Okay.
So everything we do
course.
is really looking for that checkered flag of getting not only students to graduation, but getting them to graduate on time. There's a lot of focus in the media about Oswego's graduation rate is hanging around 76%. But in actuality, our August graduation rate is in the 80s. So we know that we can get our students to the checkered flag and ultimately to 90, 95% graduation rate, but how do we get them there on time? Because the media doesn't report out on our August data, they report out on our June data. So I feel good about our graduation rate, but until we get every student to read and be successful by the end of third grade, we're never going to get to that 90, 95% graduation rate that I know we can be at.
All right. Dr. Gui, thank you
very
for
much.
being here again this month.
I enjoy it.
That'll wrap up this month's edition of the Dane and Dean Show. We'll see you
Thanks,
next
Dane and
month.
Dr. Gui. Seems like there are some great and new initiatives and some cool things in store for students here in Oswego.
It is pretty exciting. But let's get on to the second part of our show, Around Oswego.
Good idea, Jack. So do you remember when we had a day off from school a couple weeks ago?
Of course, for Veterans Day.
Yeah, well, the students at Layton got to learn about the importance of Veterans Day and why we observe it. Layton held a ceremony for all the veterans here in Oswego.
I heard about that. It went pretty well, right?
Yes, it did. And I actually have some more information about that. Dozens of local veterans took center stage on Thursday, November 9th to be honored by the students, faculty, and staff of Frederick Layton Elementary School. The school invited any interested veterans to join their celebration, which was held in honor of Veterans Day on November 11th. And the Layton Gymnasium was filled with members of the United States, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marine Corps, and Coast Guard, as the entire student body thanked them for their service. The principal of Layton, Kara Shore, herself a veteran of the U.S. Air Force, said that to the veterans that this is all about the hard work they do each day as a soldier or as a civilian, and we deeply appreciate their commitment to our community. Students recognized the veterans they invited by presenting them with a gift, and the school came together for the singing of patriotic songs during the ceremony. Students also got to see some military mementos and artifacts brought in by veterans, as well as a demonstration of meals ready to eat, or MREs, in their classrooms.
It is simply fantastic to see such patriotic pride in our little town.
It really is, and it's awesome to see that Layton made it a priority to both honor veterans and teach young students about the military and the sacrifices being a member of it requires.
Yes, the teachers obviously put in a lot of work as well, and I heard the students were very well behaved.
They were extremely well behaved, and it says a lot about the students and their teachers.
Speaking of teachers, did you know that the Oswego Middle School has a new teacher?
You know, I did hear about that, and it seems like the middle school has introduced a lot of exciting programs lately.
Let's send it over to OMS, where the technology teachers are creating future innovators.
Steve Bradish. I'm the career and finance teacher, first year here at Oswego Middle School. Very excited about it. I like the kids. I like the school. I'm an old wrestler, so I'm really happy to get back into the wrestling world. I came here because I moved back from up north, up by Old Forge. Was up there for 15 years teaching up there. So I decided to come back and be around my family. So far, it's going very well. I enjoy the kids. It's pretty busy. We have a pretty busy school here. And like I said, so far, a lot of things are working out pretty well. And if given the opportunity, I'll coach the modified, I'm already board approved to coach the modified wrestling program, so I'm pretty excited about that.
Welcome to Mr. Rowley's Woodshop. I'm Grace Swing, and
I'm Ryan, and this is our hydroponic system.
we're growing cherry tomatoes in a hydroponic system, and hydroponics is basically when you use no soil to grow a plant. So up here we have our bucket, which feeds to the tube, which has the plants, which goes to another bucket. So, as well as using the hydroponic system, which we showed you downstairs, we're also using the organic system to try to grow cherry tomatoes. We're doing an experiment to see which yields more, the organic growth or the hydroponic. So far they're both growing about the same. So when this system, it uses dirt, but our hydroponic system downstairs, we put coconut husk in the cup for the plant, and we keep a nutrient solution, like if you put Miracle Grow in water, for example. You keep that running through the system, and that's replaced for the water. So we're gonna see which kind has better, how it grows better if it has more fruits, just to kind of see.
It's exciting to see these students interested in such fascinating new technology.
And with so many careers available, it's a wise investment.
Luckily, OHS recently hosted a science, technology, engineering, and mathematics night where students were introduced to great jobs in those fields. On Tuesday, November 9th, an eager crowd of students and parents packed the Oswego High School Cafe to get their hands dirty and explore some career opportunities that await them. The STEM, or Science, Technology, Engineering, and Mathematics Career Exploration Night, featured numerous employees and equipment from Novelis, whose aluminum processing plant in Oswego has more than 1,000 employees. Oswego High School counselor Rachel Henderson, who helped organize the event, said, "It's important for kids to explore, learn, and get closer to these fields because the more they research what they can do, the more they'll know what they want to do after high school, and STEM is where the jobs are." Dave Lloyd, Novelis' plant training coordinator, explained that they are looking for the best of the best when they look to fill positions at the plant. Besides the 2 or 4 year college degrees, acquired places like Novelis also look for many character attributes like accountability, dependability, and positive attitude, Lloyd also said.
What a great possible career choice for students right here in Oswego.
With such great jobs, you won't ever need to leave Oswego again for anything.
Well, I mean, I guess not, and there are also a lot of awesome events here in Oswego, like the Teal Night that the OHS boys and girls hockey teams hosted this past week.
Yeah, that was a really cool event. Tori, Trent, and I got some more information on that. So
According
let's
to
take a
the
look.
American Cancer Society, of the 22,440 women that will be diagnosed with ovarian cancer in 2017, 14,080 of those women will die. It ranks as the 5th most deadly cancer in American women.
Mary Gosick, a friend, mother, and proud Oswegonian, passed away from the terrible disease this past June. The outpouring of love and support, not only for the Gosick family, but for ovarian cancer patients across Central New York, has been overwhelming.
The OHS girls and boys hockey teams showed their support with their Teal Night against Ithaca on Tuesday night. All proceeds from the game were donated to Peaceful Remedies, a therapy and support group of those with lifelong or terminal illnesses, founded by Mary herself in 2015. Before the game, players from the men's and women's Oswego State hockey team joined OHS athletes on the ice to honor Mary.
The girls lost a very close battle in overtime, 3-2. Highlights of the night included an impressive power play goal scored by senior Hannah Coster, beating the Ithaca goalie glove side. Assists on the goal went to freshman Cami Ahern and sophomore Abby Yurkon. Strong goaltending from sophomore Ashley Finch helped carry the team into the extra frame, but Ithaca capitalized on a good scoring chance to end the game.
The boys enjoyed a different fate, coming out on top 3-1. Junior Ethan Proud backstopped the team, while junior Kyle Decker scored the insurance goal in the 3-on-2 rush down the left side on the ice in the third period.
Thank you to everyone who came out to support the teams and this great cause. Now back to Jack and Jenna in the studio.
What a fantastic cause.
It really is. Well, that's all for this show. If you have something around Oswego that you would like to see featured on a future show, please contact Matthew Bach in the WBUC studios with the contact info on the screen.
Thanks for tuning in. Have a fantastic month and happy holidays, Oswego. And look for us next month on the first Friday of the month.
Hello, Oswego. My name is Dane Richardson, and welcome